Kate, Thierry, Jamie and Micah. It's good to have you with us. We had 4 cracking games in these later kickoffs. Really interesting. Bayern-Chelsea was the main game, if you will, on our platform. A 3-1 win for Bayern Munich at home at the Allianz Arena. This was the first kind of real significant test for either side, I think it's fair to say, this season. What did we learn about either team?
Listen, Bayern Munich are probably a better team right now than Chelsea. I thought in the first half, I thought Chelsea were doing quite well up until Bayern Munich scored. But yeah, I mean, Chelsea, even though we talk about the World Club Championship, but it's the first time in the Champions League, isn't it? For a few years, it was a team who have won the Champions League twice, had great experience, but they're a young team now, first time in it. Probably the toughest game that they've played this season.
You've changed your tune. You've been very nice about Chelsea now. Is everything all right?
We're talking about tonight and a game.
Okay.
We're talking about the project before of 3.5 years of the owner. But yeah, so I didn't expect them to win, really. And I think of the players that Bayern Munich have got in Kane and Elise. But listen, Cole Palmer is at that level as well. But no, it's the toughest game. They've got it out the way and done.
What did you like about the second half, Peter?
No, the whole game. I kind of agree with what Jamie said, that the Chelsea, they kind of played all right until Bayern scored. They turned the game around quite quickly and quite well, but didn't score on the chances that they created. They should have done that. Had they done that, it probably would have been a different game. But then Bayern scored, and I said this before the game, the front 4 players are firing. And all 4 of them played well today. Yes, Kane scored the goals, but obviously he created the first goal. Gnabry and Diaz, they're just here, there, everywhere, putting a lot of pressure on Chelsea's back 4. And Bayern, it's just a great team in great form at the moment. I'm a little bit worried about going sort of a month or 2 months later into the season. When I look at the bench, it looks very young, it looks very thin in many ways. But for the moment, it's an absolute choice to watch Bayern play.
Hey!
What's it in here,
Harry?
I heard that. Thank you very much, mate.
You just watched your goals there. The second goal you scored.
Yeah.
I mean, just put us in the picture. I mean, you're scoring goals left, right, and centre, but that was a fantastic finish.
Yeah, no, that was a good finish. I think the way we pressed throughout the whole game was at a high level, and that ball kind of fell nicely to me. And I had a quick look over the shoulder to see how much space I had, and I knew I could let the ball run. And then it was just about using the defender. Most defenders like to kind of open their legs a little bit, and yeah, obviously it kind of went perfectly into that far corner.
It's been an amazing start to this season. You've already personally scored 10 goals, but this was kind of the first real test at the highest level. How do you feel that this went for you today?
Yeah, it was a high-level game, playing against a really good opponent. Obviously, the Club World Cup champions. We expected a tough game, but I thought from start to finish, the way we moved the ball, the angles we showed, the quick passing, the chances we created was at a real high level. So, yeah, look, whoever we play, we try and play in the same way, the same style, with the same intensity, and I think we showed that out there today.
Harry, can I just ask you a question? I read some of your quotes this morning in the press, and you were mentioning the fact that you were coming up against Chelsea and obviously the rivalry, and you were at Tottenham, and it just adds that little bit of motivation. So how nice is it to get a couple of goals and give one back to Chelsea?
Yeah, for sure. Sorry, guys, I'm just hearing something else in my ear as well. It's kind of muddled up with
the question is,
Jamie.
Obviously from your quotes, from saying your Tottenham background against Chelsea, so that will give you a little bit of extra motivation. How was that today to then get 2 goals against them?
Yeah, playing against, for Tottenham, there was a London rival for us for a long time. We had a lot of tough games against them. We had title runs against them, and so I think for me personally, being a player from Tottenham, there's always a little bit added in these type of games, and yeah, it's a different atmosphere, it's a different style of play. When teams come to Bayern Munich, we expect to win, we expect to be the dominant team, and I think we showed that today. So from a striker's point of view, I knew I was going to get chances today, and thankfully I was able to put a couple away.
Do you think you are in better condition to win this tournament, which is Bayern's brief every year, than you were last season?
Yeah, I think so. I think people maybe forgot last year was Company's first season with us. We changed a lot. We in the Bundesliga especially, we went to a real high level and was able to get that title back. And in the Champions League, there was times I felt, especially in that Inter Milan game in the quarterfinal, we done enough to win that game, but the moments we didn't quite take. So it's another year on. The way we train, the way we work together. I think it's just building that relationship more and more. And now we're going into this season, with the start that we've had, so that will only build confidence.
Harry, can I ask you another
we
question about
I'm
my...
not sure, Harry,
can Harry hear me now?
Can you hear it?
No, I'm
Harry,
hearing
Harry.
I'm hearing someone else's interview right now.
We do, Damien. Unfortunately, we do have a sound problem. We've had a little bit of a sound problem throughout the day. I was just going to ask. We haven't spoken to you since you won your first trophy.
Yeah, I know.
You've had all this personal success, all the goals. You played 102 games for Bayern. You've scored 96 goals, which is fantastic. You've 23 penalties have you scored off 24. I mean, the stats are incredible. But you won this trophy. What's that been like for you?
It's been nice. It was a long time coming. A lot of hard work from my first games to my first trophy for sure. A lot of highs, a lot of lows. But ultimately, it was just a great thing to kind of tick off in my career, and it feels like a long time ago now. I'm someone who moves on fairly quick. I enjoyed the moment. We had some good celebrations for sure, and then look, we're in a new season. My focus is on this year. We won the Super Cup as well, which was nice, and then our hunger, not just me but the team, is to push on now, and that's no different for me.
Okay, we've got to let you go. Thank you very much. Sorry about the sound there.
Cheers,
I'm
guys.
sure that the
Thanks,
game...
Harry.
The whole team, obviously he's the guy at the end of it, but the way they press as a team, he said it himself, it is just outstanding what they're doing. Hopefully they can carry on like this, but the way they played as a team, to be able to score 10 goals like that, we all know what he can do, and he's been doing it year in, year out, whether if it was at Tottenham or now at Bayern Munich. So goals will always be. But the way they play as a unit right now, it does look good against a team. Yes, we all know maybe it's not the best team in Europe, although they won the Club World Cup. I'm talking about in this competition, you will think more about Barcelona and other teams, obviously, and Paris Saint-Germain. But Bayern does look good. And like I said, I wanted to ask that question, but Peter did ask it. I think for me, he will be looking to win the Champions League.
Can I just ask you, sorry, Kate, about striker Kane? How good is, you played in that position, how good is he in terms of, obviously we know his all-round game, but when we talk about elite strikers, especially over the last 20 years, where would you put him? What bracket would you put him? How much do you rate him?
What I like is the evolution of the player. I remember going to see him one time and for a previous job that I was doing, and I asked him, you score a lot of goals, but sometimes you forget about your teammates and you don't try to look for a pass. He said, "You're right, I'll work on that." Then he came up with it. Then, he's trying to get better all the time. And he's been doing it. And, the higher you go, and no disrespect to Tottenham, he's playing in a better team now. Yeah. So that will enhance his quality.
What advice did you give him in that moment?
Oh, no, I didn't have to give him anything because I saw the way he was talking and in his eyes that he is a guy that works. Do you understand what I mean? That he didn't need anything. You could see that he knew, what he had to do. And by the way, it's one thing to say it, and it's another thing to do it, and he did it.
I think he's England's greatest ever centre-forward or goal scorer. He's done it in the Premier League with a team who aren't one of the top teams. He's gone abroad now, Bayern Munich, huge pressure, all eyes on him. What was his numbers there? 90-odd goals in 100 games or something like that. Ridiculous. He's been a top goal scorer in the World Cup. He is one of the greatest goal scorers the game's seen. And I think, you think of some great strikers England have had in the past, and obviously some great ones.
So you think he's higher than Shearer? You think he's higher than Shearer? No, I'm not. It's not a debate.
I know he's your mate because of the podcast, but he scored more goals for England than Shearer. If he'd have stayed in the Premier League, he'd have got the Premier League thing as well. He's gone abroad to one of the biggest clubs in the world and scored goals. He's like his numbers are off the scale.
I get your argument, and I wasn't. I wasn't saying, but obviously the times are different then. What, he's got 260 goals in the Premier League, Alan Shearer, arguably against better defenders at this time. So when you say...
What do you mean arguably? I was a defender probably...
Yeah, but the centre-halves back then were greater than now. True or not true?
I don't know. Van Dijk's playing now.
But that's one... Name 6 top defenders in the Premier League right now.
Right, he's not playing in the Premier League now, he's in the Bundesliga.
Oh my God.
No, but I think, the discussion went too far. Like, if we go back to the player, I would say that for me, if we talk about a complete striker, That's him.
Yeah, he can come deep. He can get on the ball. He can play people in. He's the best
We
striker
can
England
raise
have ever
question
had.
about pressing, because pressing also is part of being a striker. But if we go, when you're on the ball, he can drop, he can ping, maybe he cannot play on the right or on the left, which is different because we all know he's a 9. But this guy is complete.
The thing I get a bit thingy with Harry Kane is that he doesn't get the credit he deserves. Now, I've just said something like, I think he's the best, but you've straight away said Shearer, and Shearer was amazing, and I think lots of people would say what you've said. But when you just stack his numbers and his facts up there, I don't know why it's not even just a given that he is. He's playing for Tottenham, a team who haven't won the league for about 60 years. He's playing for England, scored more goals, got more caps than probably any. He's got more goals than
But
anyone.
you can't do it off that. It was.
What was it
back
off
then,
then?
internationally, it was way harder.
Why was it? Why was it?
They're back at it.
Why was it?
England played now in the qualifiers.
We have a convo.
It's a lower standard than it was before.
Anyway, anywho, as you would say.
Okay.
Anywho. Do you know what I was wondering? Do you think they genuinely couldn't hear you, or do you think that was a ploy to not have to speak to you?
Oh, you think it was to do with the accent? Do you think it was to do where it was
I was
from?
just wondering if they thought,
wow.
take the ears out. We wanted to talk to you about Michael Olise, a player you've been talking to us about this afternoon, then he performed really well. Thierry.
It's just like, I do not understand. I will share something. I think Chelsea wanted him. That how come he's not playing in the Premier League when you were in the Premier League? I don't understand why a team didn't go and get him. It for me, it doesn't make any sense, because seeing him playing for Reading, then going to Crystal Palace, and what he did, and I know at one point people were wondering about his hamstring, but if you don't know that this guy, even at the time, was a good player, then you have a problem. I don't know how, people were talking about the financial, you can put money in the Premier League. I don't know how this guy is not playing in the Premier League. Fair play to Bayern Munich. I think there was a battle between Bayern Munich and actually Chelsea to get him, but you're telling me Man United didn't come for him, Man City didn't come for him. I do not understand. And I do think, for me, he is better as a 10. I will maintain it. I played him as a 10 in the Olympics. But the thing is, if you give him the time, even if he doesn't have the time, he sees things that, like the pose that he takes. Look at this. He waits, he has time. You always say that about great players, and obviously he's coming into it. The way he plays for France, he's the number 10 for France right now. People will tell me that watch the game that the other day he made a mistake against Iceland. He gave the ball away and they scored, but he's not shy to give the ball. He starts stuff, he finishes stuff. You can have him on the right. For me, as I said, I will repeat myself, he's a number 10. I think, again, I will repeat, I do not understand, that nobody really came really strong for him in the Premier League when he was in the league. Like, what did you not see? I don't get it.
By the way, you mentioned Chelsea's league phase schedule before, just saying Bayern, one of the toughest fixtures they had. They've also got Barca, Benfica, Atalanta, Ajax, Napoli, Pafos, and then Karabag away from home. So a really tough schedule.
Is Barcelona at home?
I don't know. I didn't write that down.
Leave the football talk to us.
All right. Okay, cool. We're going to go to a break, everybody. We'll